Bruce Johnson, Right-Wing Tribune, Baghdad, Iraq. The Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi has denied intentions to intervene within Syrian affairs, saying airstrikes against Islamic State will continue. Iraqi news reports. In his weekly speech, Abadi said, "We don't want to intervene within Syrian affairs. The Syrian people should have self-determination. We will continue to carry out airstrikes against IS. We will do even more," he added. Abadi also blamed the fact that IS remained there for a long time on the complicated conflicts in Syria. Spokesman for the Iraqi Security Media Council Brigadier General Yahya Rasool said, earlier this week, at least 36 IS militants were killed after Iraqi warplanes targeted their terrorist hotbed located in Syria. Last week, Iraq announced launching airstrikes against Islamic State locations in Syria. This came after Abadi said security troops will follow IS militants in the whole region, not only in Iraq. The Iraqi-Syrian borders are under the control of joint troops of military and border guards. Yesterday we reported that at least 3 people were killed and injured in a bomb blast, southwest of Kirkuk province, a security source was quoted saying on Sunday. Speaking to Baghdad Today website, the source said, a bomb went off at Al-Humaira crossroads in Al-Rashad town, southwest of Kirkuk. 2 people were killed, while the third was wounded. Security troops rushed to the accident spot, the source who preferred anonymity added. The wounded were taken to nearby hospital for treatment, while the victim was transferred to forensic medicine department. And in Nineveh, Iraq, 18 Islamic State members were killed as Iraqi troops repulsed an attack by the militant group on the Iraqi-Syrian borders, west of Nineveh, military sources said on Friday. Iraqi troops foiled a fierce attack by ISIS on the Iraqi-Syrian borders, near Rabia town, northwest of Mosul. All the attackers were killed immediately, while their weapons were confiscated, Lieutenant General Ali al-Araji, of the Army the 15th Division, told Baz News. The forces, according to Araji, repelled the attack and were deployed along the borders between Iraq and Syria in Al-Yarabiyah region, fearing infiltration by more militants, Iraqi news reported. Moreover, the troops launched operations at the nearby villages in search for ISIS members, he added. On Thursday, the media office of Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi said Iraqi F-16 jets carried out deadly airstrikes against Islamic State locations in Syria from the Iraqi borders side. Dozens were killed in the attack. This came after Abadi said on Wednesday that security troops will follow ISIS militants in the whole region, not only in Iraq. The strikes, according to the statement, were carried out depending on orders from Haider al-Abadi, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. The statement also added that the strikes would help expedite the elimination of the ISIS in the region after it was conquered in Iraq. Meanwhile, an informed security source told Al-Sumaria News that the strikes were carried out by the F-16 jets that Iraq owns. On Wednesday, Abadi said security troops will follow ISIS militants in the whole region, not only in Iraq. The Iraqi-Syrian borders are under the control of joint troops of military and border guards. Meanwhile, RWT reported that in Baghdad, Iraq, the Higher Judicial Council has revealed issuing over 800 verdicts from Nineveh Criminal Court, including around 200 death sentences and 150 life sentences to convicts over terrorism charges. In a statement on Wednesday, Abdul Sattar Bayraktar, spokesperson for the High Judicial Council, said the estimates issued by the criminal courts showed that verdicts were issued against 815 convicts, with 212 death sentences and 150 life sentences. Earlier in the week, Iraqi judiciary sentenced 7 foreign women of various nationalities to death and/or life in jail over affiliation with Islamic State militants. The Supreme Judicial Council said in a statement that the Central Criminal Court sentenced 3 Azerbaijanis and 1 Kyrgyz to death, while issuing a life sentence for 2 Russians and a French national. Earlier news reports quoted AFP identifying the French national as 29-year-old Jamila Botodo. Earlier this month, 6 Turkish females were sentenced to death over affiliation to Islamic State. In March, The Central Criminal Court in Baghdad has sentenced 13 Turkish women to death over the same charge. The same court sentenced number of women to life and death over belonging to Islamic State. Some of them were Azeri, Turkish, and Iraqi. In February, an Iraqi court ordered deporting a French female jihadist to her country after serving a 7-year jail term. 15 Turkish females were sentenced to life, in the same month, over their membership with Islamic State. Iraq is holding hundreds of foreign wives and children of Islamic State militants who were captured as Iraqi forces gradually seized back territories held by the extremist group since 2014. The government declared victory over ISIS last December. However, observers warn that the group still poses a security threat with sleeper cells. Authorities say they are coordinating with other countries to extradite those held who are not convicted of terrorism. Islamic State continues to launch sporadic attacks across Iraq against troops. Security reports indicate that the militant group still poses threat against stability in the country. Abadi announced, in December, full liberation of Iraqi lands, declaring end of war against ISIS members. The war against ISIS has so far displaced at least 5 million people. God bless. Bruce Johnson, Right Wing Tribune. Be sure to follow us on Nation in Distress and America's Freedom Fighters on Facebook.